What are you doing here? Ah, you're here for Mora, a journey in time. Let's go and take a look at what's happened over the last 2 weeks. In the last dev diary, we looked at the dev environment that I had going, where I was just generating code and trying to build functionality without having the complex area to work with. So what I've actually been doing is moving that over into the main area this time. So we now have the interface on the main character and we're able to interact with objects in the scene. So let's go and take a look at how that was done, and we'll see it in action as well.
So here we are in Unity. So as I mentioned, you might have seen the last dev diary where I was building the functionality behind opening doors and the puzzles and inventory requiring items and so on. So what I've actually been doing now, or this past couple of weeks, is attaching these to things like the doors. So for instance, if we take a look at this door here, we can see on the left hand side I've attached something to this. I've attached my game creator trigger action script, and that has allowed me to interact with this. So when I walk up to this as the player, the little E icon will appear and it'll let me do something. Now I just want to be able to open this door. I don't want any items in the inventory, so what I've done is I've left the action items blank there, and all I'm doing is on has items actions, it plays a sound to open the door and then it opens the door. Brilliant. So that will just let us through, and it will let us go through to the other side into this room. Now this one over here is a little bit different, so we want the player to be forced to find this room first. So what I've done on this one is I've actually required them to have a key card first. So if we click on this little control pad here, this again has the game creator trigger action on it, but this time I've required an item. This requires a key card in order to go through and open the door, and then I've actually assigned this in a different action, and it's this one. But again, it will just play a sound and then it's going to open the door for us. But that will only happen, just to reiterate, that will only happen if I have this action item in my inventory. So we're forcing the player to go through into this room to pick up the key card first. So that was the hard work of the scripting put in place, and I've done this in a couple of other areas as well, but let's take a look at this now and see how that works in game. Okay, so here we are in game, and as I've already said, I've attached these scripts to these doors so we can actually action them. Now this one will let me through straight away, and this one, as I said, needed a key card in the inventory, so we don't have a key card in our inventory at the moment. So if we try and open this door, looks like I need a key card of some sort to open this door. Okay, so we can't get through there just yet, and the door won't open. Obviously we can't get through. So let's try going in here. We'll go in. Now I know the key card's here, so I'll pick that up. Ah, a key card. This will open that door. That's useful to know, isn't it? So let's go and see if the door opens. You'll notice we've got some sound effects there as well. So this is all very straightforward. All I'm doing is picking up an item and opening a door. But what we see here is the work from the other areas coming into play. All I'm doing is dragging a script on and then telling it how to behave. So now we can move forward and we can create the gameplay quite easily, which is really, really powerful for a development environment to be able to do. And as we go out here, you'll also notice quite a lot of changes. If you saw the previous screenshots of how this used to look, or the previous dev diaries, this was actually quite plain before. So it was just one long corridor with this big tree thing at the end, and then nothing else down that end either. Maybe the computer terminal was there, but that's it. So what I've been doing is I've been playing with the lighting, and I've been playing with the mood and feel of the area. So you'll notice here I've added a lot more props in. Over to the right we've got this boiler, but there's some effects on there as well. It is a boiler, so it'll have steam, so steam starts coming off it. And then this tree here actually is generating oxygen for this facility, so we can see some particle effects in there with the steam again, just making it look like it's actually doing something. And then little details around here, just adding things to make the environment seem like it's more alive, like it actually has a purpose. And something else that's quite paramount in here is the lighting, and I've actually added fog. So beforehand you could see straight down to the end. It was really clean, and it just didn't look right. It was too crisp. and there was no lights coming out of the doors as well. So what I've done is I've added some fog in there with a slight colour variation, and I'll go over this in that tutorial video that I mentioned where we go over the lighting. But I've added the fog in there, and I've added some lighting to these door areas as well, because then when you're coming out of here as a player, so you come out of this door and you're having a look around, it draws your eye. You kind of know where you need to be going, and I've got Timps to thank for that. He gave me some good advice about drawing the player's attention to an area. So this is something as a game developer we need to be able to do. We need to be able to sort of try and guide the player to where they're going without giving it away all the time as well. Now, something else that's been implemented is, you saw me do some parkour in the first episode. Look, we can climb the ladder now, which is nice. Again, that's just attaching a script onto there, so we don't have to mess about doing too much each time. Just attach the script on and then we can climb the ladders. Now onto this next area. You'll have to excuse the baking, I didn't bake this before starting. So if we go through here, I've been working on the lighting in this hallway, and as we go round, this goes into our next section, which is the security area. So we'll work our way around this area, and again I've been working on the lighting upstairs as well. It's taken a little bit of time to get around to doing this, but now that I have, again the area it's starting to come alive a little bit. We need lighting in the rooms, that's the next thing to be done. But this area will play a big part in how the puzzles work, to get to the bottom section and then to escape as well. So that's about it for the security area. So let's move on to the next bit. Okay, so this area is still a little bit dark. I've not been working on the lighting in this part just yet, but there's a couple of things I'd like to note. You'll notice early on in the dev diaries I added some cameras around these areas, and I had these on all the time. Now what was happening is I had a really bad FPS. It went down to about 15, and I noticed the vert count was at about 44 million verts, and that's because each of these cameras was running every single time, and obviously that's not optimized in any way. So I've turned those off for now, so they're not actually showing in the camera room. We've got a couple that are there and working, but what my plan is to actually change this area here to have a console. So we go up to the console and we choose which camera to look at. Then we're only ever activating one camera at a time, and that gets around that problem and keeps performance in mind. Now for the astute ones that have noticed the layout change, this is now a dead end. So what we can do instead is go around this way. This is where I get lost. Need to rebake. Go around, and we've got a new area being added through here. Now this is a work in progress in this area, but again this will serve a part of the story and the puzzles that are around this area. So it is a work in progress. As I say, it's a devlog, so everything's a work in progress. But this is the other area we've been working on, and we've had a bit of a swap around down here. So we've still got the cells down on these two sides, but there's no staircase here now. That's gone, and that won't be coming back. We've decided to change how we're going to come out of this bit as we go on. So that's pretty much it for the updates on stuff that's been put in. It's been a busy couple of weeks, but good progress is being made. I've spent a lot of time behind the scenes as well, talking about the story, deciding how we're going to launch the game, in what phases we're going to launch the game as well, because that's an important thing to focus on. It's important that we do that.
While we're on video, I'd just like to take the opportunity as well to thank everybody for the amazing support that this project's getting so far. YouTube subscribers are going up every week, Discord's growing, it's fantastic. There's conversation around the story and around the game. It's really, really good to see. So we really do appreciate all the enthusiasm that's being shown. Now, before I posted the video this week, I did ask if anybody had any questions they'd like answering. So one has come in from Death Venom on Discord, and he's asking whether there'll ever be any combat, like first person or third person shooter, that kind of thing. And the answer to that is actually no. This isn't a combat game. The whole purpose of this game is to be one of those family friendly, one that I wouldn't mind my children playing. So the sole focus of this game is to be around the puzzles and around the story, the immersiveness of the environment. That's where we're heading for this. Our next question that came in again from Discord was from Snake, And he's actually asking about the lighting in Mora and how to achieve the same effects. So what I'm actually going to do with that is do another video. I'm going to do a tutorial on that one to show you how we've gone from the boring scenes that you might have seen quite early on with no lighting to the lighting that we've got now and the atmosphere and the immersiveness on it. So keep your eyes peeled on YouTube for that. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and then you'll be notified. Hit the bell, you'll get notified when that video comes out as well. So again, thanks everybody for the amazing support. Don't forget to like this video if you can. It really helps with the YouTube algorithms, and maybe offer a comment as well to say thank you or offer some suggestions. Be really appreciated. So we'll see you in the next one. Bye.